God bless you, everyone who's in here. The few. Um, I've got a lot going on, and things have been winding up pretty good here as March begins, which I'm happy about. Um, so, first of all, uh, ha- Pauletta, great to have you. God bless you, and thanks for the support, Pauletta, Poe family, Pamela, uh, George. Thank you for the support. Uh, February's been ridiculous, but coming out of that, which is wonderful, thankfully, it's just been really brutal over at Liberty Aid Academy, but in a good way. Just had no one come as students for a while, and all right, Pam, and then had the individual Frank. All right, then had the individual who'd been handling my paid marketing. She'd had enough, which was great because now Tammy's doing that too, and it's just Tammy and I, and it's we're saving so much money. All right, Jason, good to have you. And it's just only people that have signed the trust are now at Liberty Aid Academy working for everyone, just with great success, Tammy and myself. So it's just so much better. All right, happy day to you, Alan. Great to have everyone here. And really, thanks for the support. It was, I can't even, I'm not even going to go into everything that went on. I mean, it's just, I'd be here for a couple hours. I'm not going to do that. But it's just why March is starting really well with a simplification of just Tammy and I working at Liberty Aid Academy. She is so dedicated. She is so great at her work. I mean, it's after so many years of just dealing, like 18 months ago there were 5 people working here, and most of whom just really didn't care about what I'm doing or the work and nothing like that. And Timmy and I care a great deal about it, and so it's just wonderful to be down to that. And we've got some paid marketing working again, not everything or anything like that, but what we have working is successfully working. So it's going really well. Jamie, great to have you. And Benjamin. All right, Benjamin, it was great to visit with you all. That was such a great little journey you took into the sunshine here, and the weather played out for you too, so that was great to have you. uh I know Tammy is just so great. Exactly, Pamela. She's really, I'm super blessed to have her working, and I was able to, pay her much better, which she totally deserves. Oh my God. And so it's just she and I. And we've got the system down where we can do it and really help people. And it's just wonderful. But, how we got there, the last, it was been such an incredible struggle to get to where we are. And where we are is just like so much better. It's so wonderful. So thank you, Frank. You're sweet. There's some other saints in here too. Um, right? I named them. You got baptized. It's been over a year since we met in Myrtle Beach and India. So 6 saints, I declare. And I was a saint at one point, and then if you look at the chart where you move up in the back of God Speaks with Mir Baba, that's the fifth plane. It's a saint. So I did reach the fifth plane or the seventh plane. So yeah, Avatar now. The guy that never leave, never born, never die. That guy. That's me. It's not ego. It's not toot my horn. It's just got to say what it is so that everyone understands the spiritual hierarchy of what it is and can make the best of it. So thank you for the support. It's been great. I really needed it, and shoo, it's I can't even the money totally helped for sure, it's very important, but also the support and just, you know, when it's really difficult, it's great to get support from people that, let you know to continue the work and it's worth it. So that's been really needed it this past month and things are shaping up a little better here. Very quiet at the house here too, just Merlin to myself. It's been very good. So, uh, thank you, Jason. Really appreciate it. So, gathering is Sarasota again, like happened last year. Those individuals are all going to be coming, and I sure hope that's a plan. And it seems to all be set that everyone's able to make it. That was able to make it last year. Really looking forward to those seeing those people. Just so what a group, and individually, each one super incredible. So, and I know they're looking forward to the same because we all really bonded over, it's just there's no one can sit around and talk with the truth with, you're out in there in the world and it's just empty. So it's really super great to be gathering. Uh, so if anyone would like to go to that event in Sarasota, it's going to be centrally located in Sarasota. Message me in the classroom and I'll sort of give you a crossroads of where to be near if you're getting an Airbnb or whatever. Uh, and just to make it super easy, if you're there, they'll deliver from Walmart food. You can walk to like Legacy Trail from where you're going to be. Easily take a Lyft or Uber down to the beach, short ride, and then be able to walk around like Legacy Trail. Jamie and I walked on that. Benjamin is just a super great right through Sarasota, beautiful spot. It was supposed to be the location of the old train tracks where the circus would come here at winter in this area. So anyway, no more railroad tracks. It's just a bike path, and it's through neighborhoods and stuff, and also through parks, and it's just a beautiful, super beautiful area, where you can see lots of birds. Oh, that's right. This week I was on Legacy Trail. I saw my first flamingo in this area. Also, when Jamie and Benjamin was here, Benjamin was like, "Look up." We look up and there's like right above us in the tree is a super giant eagle. And I just said, I had just baptized him and said, Mayor Mama said, wherever saints are, the eagles will fly. And Benjamin's like, look up. And we're like, where? It was like right there. And we are staring at it and staring at us. It's not moving or nothing. And it was a nice little visit. And it was right after I said that too. So great. And I know you both had a great time. Siesta Key, that beach is just like it's like no other. And Legacy Trail's gorgeous. The whole place is wonderful to walk around and be around, stuff like that. And snowbirds are way down this year. It's really been, it's busy this time of year, but it's been way down. So really great. Florida's getting a bad rep out there. Thank goodness. We're less inundated. So this year is a good year to come, that it's not super busy and all that. So message me in the classroom, hey, over Lemonade Academy, right in the classroom, you can direct message and be like, hey, I'm interested in going. And if funds are a difficulty for you in achieving coming here, uh, has someone volunteer to, help people out with, making it financially. So, uh, please message me if that's something you're interested in. And you have to be baptized. Don't come if that's not going to happen. So that just has to happen. And I'll give you an example why it has to happen. Uh, I've been saying to certain people, pray for Gypsy or whatever, and he just won't be baptized. So I have to quit watching over him because I'm like, how many years is this going on? And he texted me a couple weeks ago. Haven't heard from him. He's like, thinking he offing himself, and I'm like, you know, because he's constantly in jail, being picked up by the cops and stuff. Well, if I baptize him, I've been telling him, I show my videos, I sit there with him, explain the whole thing to him. I'm like, you don't want to go to jail. This is works, and I haven't got him to do it. So, at some point, they're just taking up my time. No matter how much I lead a horse to water, I can't make him drink. So it's time to drink the water, get baptized where you come. It's a simple process. Uh, was easy for Jamie and Benjamin when they came down. So it's not a complex process, but there is a spiritual hierarchy. You agree to it, and then that's what you partake in. So don't come. If you've already been baptized, hey, congratulations, and we'll see each other again soon. I'm looking forward to it. Uh, and Blatherfun is George. Hey, everyone, God bless you all. In the name of Jesus Christ, so glad to be here. And I am too. I'm very glad to be here with everyone too. Question, yeah, I think you told me that the angels and fallen angels are human precursors. Does that mean that the 7,000s are the only ones going through the evolution? Uh, it, Everyone's going through evolution, okay? Like a tree isn't, that's going through evolution. But once you hit the human form, involution, and the fallen angels and stuff, they're not gonna get to God in this time loop. They're not. They're not going to. It's not going to happen. So they could only witness our actual spiritual advancement. You see what I'm saying? And then they, at some point, this loop or another, they decide to perform some action. They've been watching me enough, or you, and okay, I'm gonna, they do something, and then their evolution begins from an action. They're not okay. I know what the script is, and they go off script. And I have asked them face to face. I was like, "I don't worry, God will protect you." Is so, uh, and they just don't. They don't like. So I don't expect them to, and I cannot put my time into them because they will do it at some point, not based on an interaction with me. It doesn't happen for that reason, in that I'm gonna directly know or something like they're not gonna be like, "Oh, that's great. I know that now I understand everything. Baptize me." No, no, it's gonna be something else they do, not that. Uh, and then, next time loop or whatever, their evolution is just so, to say the word slow is to, like, not really give slow its real meaning. It's like, a statue is moving faster than them in their evolution, so I don't wanna say that they're not moving at all. It does appear that way, and they're not really gonna advance like you. It's not even remotely anywhere near nothing, nothing's gonna happen compared to what you're doing. So, there is some evolution in that they're living a life, and they're gonna have a reaction to it at some point. Their actions will come outside of the script, the character that they're supposed to play, and they will advance a little bit. I am not saying I've seen it. I haven't. I haven't seen it. Uh, it's a really good question. So, actual evolution where someone's really gonna advance to get to God is so few people. Like Bear Baba said, only kind of direction I saw in it is he said, "Oh, when Krishna was an avatar, right? He got 17 people uh to advance to God." So, and Jesus, what, his number is like 12, right? So it's just super duper few people. And that's not going to change. Out of everyone that is living and breathing, that's it. The rest are not going to get to God in this time loop. No way, no how. They know they're not going to agree to the spiritual hierarchy, so they're not going to be in it. Uh, I've gone to different countries, different tribes, nationalities, locations, whatever. Just you've seen it if you're going to India with me, just nothing, it's like, it's no, don't it's sometimes like, no, 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 you know, literally, no, no. Okay. So, Jay, you said one has to switch teams. I like the concept. Yeah, no, they have to make some decision where they're like, okay, they know, oh, you should. This is this old movie called What Women Want, Mel Gibson, and it's kind of a hokey, uh, what would it be? Romantic comedy, not my style of movie to watch or anything, but it's about reading minds, and that's what they do and can do. They absolutely can. So if you want to look into how much information they have, and first of all, Mel Gibson takes advantage of it. He feels disoriented, but then he's like start to take advantage of women, you know. And eventually, he involves and grows a heart and realizes, maybe I could help them. As of course, in the end, he takes advantage of one woman is like falls in love. It's like no, we weren't really helping God, It's anyway. But it is, you get a sense of what their reality is like, being able to read not just women's minds, but anyone's mind, from any distance. You get a, window into that view. That part I recommend it for. And of course, all the symbology in the movie, is in there for the 64-year time loop. This stuff you'll see. And if you know you're looking for it, it's all over the place. So and where they live and they don't pay for things, it's just the whole thing. uh so that could be a help with some of that. George, I see evolution is for all forms including angels. Yes, evolution is only for the sun. Well, like, evolution to get to God, that level of evolution is only for the 7,000, but everyone in human form is evolving. They're just going at such a slow pace. It's like it's, millions, billions lifetimes, whatever the number is. It's just, staggering, infinite, close to infinite. So that's their movement because, you got so many of them, right? And then there are gonna be 7,000, but not all them 7,000 are evolving, and getting out of the being the 7,000. There's only a dozen or something, that's it, every time. So, only, like, that many of them fallen angels are gonna, take an advance, evolve out of how many are here? A million, billion, super many, uh, are here. And, then there's just I don't know what they are. The non-player characters just seem to just be nothing. They haven't even reached the status. Like in the movie, Mel Gibson like has an accident and lightning strikes or the hairdryer falls in the water and he can read minds. So, you move from a non-player character to reading minds and stuff like that. So that's evolution. All that path just takes forever. But I have to focus on just the people that can advance, really moving to God near the end of it. The rest of them, I will hit them hard, and that's what I'm going to go into the death prayer today and the proof and everything. I'll hit them hard while I'm around so that I have some penetration into the hive mind. And so something gives, and then there's some movement over there. So it's all evolving, but you know, the numbers are so staggering. It's like they most of them just absolutely don't advance at all, period, and every time loop. But a few do. And they are the ones that fill the slots in the 7,000 of the few that move out of here. Okay. All right. Okay, you see, their evolution is practically zero. Yes, yes, in some way tiny, wait until God grants the miracle to change shapes. The miracle to have, because what it's not your thoughts that makes you want to change, it's your heart. And that's the grace of God. Like they grow a heart. They care for some reason. Finally, they have some form of love come up. Finally, something. And in the end of this movie, like Mel Gibson falls in love with a woman, not with God. You know what I'm saying? After God does all this stuff for him, he doesn't be like, "Oh my God, there's a God. This is crazy." That doesn't happen. It doesn't happen for them. So they're not struck by God and like, "Oh my God, I'm moving to God." The hell with all this hell. They don't do that. And so it's sort of an accurate movie that way, but that's just a slice of the evolution. That's like them, you know. It's a non-player character coming into Fallen Angel and then reaching, you know, still Fallen Angel maybe, but not reading the mind, and then uh gonna become one of the 7,000. Oh, you learn to love, not love God. So, you know, uh that's just it's like a what the masses are doing, not the 7,000. That's what the masses are kind of that experience for them is in that movie. Alan, I like to think of the baptism by you as activating that which is latent within us all. That's true. Christ is within, and it requires a perfect master to activate it. Correct. Totally, 100% correct. God is in us. I'm not, when I say, "Oh, I'm Christ," that's true. But everyone must achieve Christ consciousness. Everyone, everyone, everyone. I'm just the one, I'm the avatar. I'm the one that's never born, never die. I'm always here, right? Okay, this is what you got to do, people. That's 100% correct. It's like that. I don't know if I went, did I go there with you, Alan, to that Krishna consciousness place? I forgot. With the doves inside there. There's a place for Krishna consciousness in Mumbai that I went to, and see, that's where everybody has to get to. That's true, but you have to get it through the spiritual hierarchy, or else. I did. I got it through the five perfect masters, right? Ultimately, one at the end where I bent my knee, and he's like, "Oh, okay." Then just continue to do as I say, and then one day he said, "Oh, you're a saint," and then one day later he's like, "You're Christ." So like, wait, what? And he said, "You're the God man." I'm like, dude, I was totally not expecting any of this at all. But I have my memory wiped, just like you. I have nothing to teach anyone unless I'm living the same experience that you're having. I have nothing to teach anyone. No, no, no. I have just as much a veil curtain up as anyone. But what's inside me and who I am is just different. Than I'm created to do this job, and you're created to do the whole job of the whole thing. But you get to leave, so it seems like you get a raw deal. I do too. I don't. I get to leave at the end of the time loop in that in between time, yes, but I never leave. I'm here every single day of the loop, and I'm never not here. I'm always here. Or else, what's the point, of sending in a shepherd for the sheep trying to get home, unless they're here? It doesn't make any sense. But it's actually quite simple. That was a couple days before your ride. Okay, okay. But you see, every like that's the Hindu view of reality. You have to become one with God. That's the way it is. Like, and Christians like, oh, the Holy Spirit is giving me messages. Yes, same thing. That's the aspect of God, non-physical, and that's your connection. Like you plug into the, you know, what am I looking for? With the phone bank, right? You plug in, and you're connected. And it's like, okay, I'm receiving the information now. If somebody asks me a question, it's like I'm plugged in and I'm sent the information always, all the time. I'm never not plugged in. Once you achieve seventh plane, you're like, you always have the information. You're always connected to God. You always know what to do. You're never disconnected. So, Frank, what happens to us the last day of the time loop? I mean, you look at the Bible, and it says, no one knows of the day of Judgment Day. No one knows of the day. I don't know every detail. That's wiped from my memory. Otherwise, I'd be like, hey, guess what's going to happen? I know when it's going to happen. I know when. I don't know of, right? The situation exactly as it's going to occur. I know some things about it. I know that Jesus is not coming in a physical body. You see what I'm saying? When you go to sleep at night, you leave here, you leave the body, you're in another place. When Judgment Day comes, uh, and Mayor Baba did explain this. If you look up Mayor Baba, Google Mayor Baba Christ, you can go read about this actually. And he says, the perfect masters understand that when Jesus comes in the clouds, that means comes in the ether. Like no one sees Jesus physically in front of them now. You see what I'm saying? You don't. You leave here and you have an experience not in the body. You're in the body exists, but you leave. You see Jesus. You don't see here. You're like, what just happened to me? So we don't have an experience here. You see what I'm saying? Like you go to sleep is painless. Going to sleep is not painless. That's going into the original state of God, where God, is experiencing, is existing as the all powerful. That's why it's a rest when we go to sleep. You go into the original state of God. And so, you're resting. There's no but then over time, you start to have dreams and information. I still have dream. I'm starting to have interactions over there now. It's annoying. Uh, not super recently, but I do have them. Again, it's very annoying. But so you that last day, if you're watching The Matrix, I think it's Revolutions, Evolution, something like that. There's Sati is a character. There's an English Indian Hindu family, and Neo meets them in the train station, and Sati is the name of the daughter. Sati is uh, when married women have their husband die. The tradition, Hindu tradition, is they light themselves on fire, immolate, and that's called Sati. So that character is Sati. You see what I'm saying? And so you can't do that. You can't kill yourself or else you come back here. Absolutely do. And in that movie, Sati, uh, the whole thing resets. There's a black cat walking by, and Sati is laying on the ground asleep. And all the background, it was like all this destruction happens, right? When Cain and Abel, Neo, and his nemesis is here, and the whole place explodes and all this stuff. But Sati is like on the street, laying down in rain, not conscious of the situation around her, and the cat walks by, and the whole thing across the street just resets, click, just in a second as Sati wakes up and next lifetime. You see, so uh, those that meet God, they don't wake up in the body again. They stay with God, and they have the experience at that time. It looks like it happens in 1 second here, but it's 1,000 years over there. Time doesn't exist outside the sphere. The ocean of God is not absolutely not experiencing time. That is relative only inside here. Does not exist outside this crystal sphere. Time does not exist at all outside of it. Doesn't exist. When you're outside and you're one with God out there, you look at here and you realize everything has already happened to God because your consciousness is with God and you're seeing the ball and you're like, wow, that already happened. That's, and everything worked out. You have that experience. Wow, everything worked out. That's cool, And you look it in and you see it's still movement in there. And you're like, but when you're with God, there is no time. So even if you're outside of the dough for 1 second, you're out there for an infinite amount of time. And you experience infinity because you are one with God who is infinite. So when you go into samadhi, that's the experience. You're gone for some amount of time here and you're with God and it's infinite. The time is, you experience infinity. You experience that. You look back here, that was my experience. So, uh, and everything is, you experience Sat Chit Ananda, right? Satan, Satan is the one who knows everything. Sat is knowledge. Uh, Chit is power, and Ananda is the bliss. So you experience all three aspects of God at one time, and they become the aspects of you. You're not separate from them. So I hope that helps. I hope that helped. Jay, oh, while I'm thinking about it, did you find out the name of the priest who took Gypsy in and helped him? I forgot about that. Someone did that. That's right. Thanks for the reminder. No, I didn't. I haven't heard from Gypsy. Um, I'll probably go looking for him, actually, that you mentioned that. But point is, he's being watched over. And that's their job, actually, to do that. They do that. They will do that. Was when I entered samadhi, having that experience at Mayor Baba's tomb, they got me to, the caretaker bed, which is next to Mayor Baba's room. Like, you walk back to the bathroom back there, there's a building there, and there's a room with a bed in it, and they put me in it. And for a few seconds, while I was in there, I half came out of it with God, and I saw them all standing around me, looking down on me, and I went right back into God. But that's their job. They perform a role. They work for God. How could someone not work for God? They do. They do. They do. They do. They just don't perform the actions to leave here. Their service to God, they're so enamored with it, and they're so resolute. They're so doing that they can't conceive of not doing that. Even standing watching me experiencing with God, and then they cannot see themselves. They see me in that role, but they don't see themselves coming to that. Why is God created them? I did it. I did it. I did it. I did. Am I not doing my best 7 days a week? Do I not go to Baba Center several times and tell them right to their face, come on, people, do I not do that? Do I not experience the bliss in front of them and they watch it? They do. It's just God created them and I did it. So I can only do the best I can and then note who's moving forward and spend my time and energy only on that, not waste it. I did waste it because, my heart went out to everyone, to Z and all the evil ones. "Oh, you wanna come with God?" They would just tell me whatever. They could tell me anything, and when I first hit the 7th plane and waking up, it's like, "Oh my god, yeah, oh, yeah." I'm not saying I'm the avatar, nothing like that. That didn't happen for many years. I was just, like, filled with, "I can help you. I have the experience. This is what's happening." But did they move an inch? No, they stole my work. Yeah, oh my god, they're horrible, you know? This is their world, don't mess with it, We're a character, but, they do watch over us as we go through these experiences, does happen. They're required to, and God works out the whole everything, so it happens when we're around them. God's plan and everything is so true. Thank you for that question, Shay. It reminded me about that. So That's why if you don't get baptized, you're not agreeing I'm in the spiritual hierarchy where I am, so you can't move forward. You just can't. You can't. You can move forward as you get, but until you're baptized with me, because I'm like, I signed you up with Jesus. He says to do this. You want to meet with him. He's the Alpha. He's the Omega. I met with him. He is the Alpha Omega. I met with Bear Mama. He said I'm infinity. And then when I met with Jesus, he said I'm infinity times infinity. Just took me quite a while to figure out what that meant. Infinity 8 times 8 is 64. I'm like, it's just what it's all he said to me. It's only thing he said to me. It didn't say nothing else. Yeah, I would love to get his name and name of that church. I'll look into it, but ain't no special church or nothing like that. Sorry. There's no such thing. They're all there to perform the work I'm talking about, but they all don't necessarily perform the work. And, you know, he didn't go to that church and have that experience and be like, "Okay, now I'm getting baptized by me." He didn't have that. So, how many millions of lifetimes? I don't know what he's up to. The point is, he's not getting baptized. After all the time I spent with him, after all the truth, and he's like, "Yeah, they all know who you are." I'm like, "Yeah," and he says everything you say is true. I'm like, "Yeah." So what? And where? What's up? When is it gonna happen? Yeah, that's up to him. It's not up to me. Yeah, I'm just saying if I find out, Jay, I'll let you know, but it's just not an important thing. It's just not. But okay. Uh, because I'm not gonna advance that guy. So and Gypsy ain't advancing until he bends the knee. So uh, you know, my heart goes out to these creatures, but I have to spend my time on the ones that really matter because my situation every day gets more difficult. It really does. So much more difficult. Like, anyway, I match the situation, the time loop. It's getting more difficult, more trauma, more events, more slavery, more everything. And so I have to experience that burden just the way everyone else does, but more, uh, because I'm the one that can do something about it. And so I have to feel it acutely. And then God said, "Oh, you feel it? Yeah. Okay, now you understand what I tell you when I send you the message and what the solution is. You know why? Because you're experiencing its necessity. That's why I have to do it. I have to experience it." God's like, "Okay, now this is why you got to do that. You see?" Okay. Yeah, I saw that you death prayer and they banned you from posting for a day. Yeah, exactly. But let's get into some of that. More questions is great, or thoughts or anything that comes up, please just stop me anytime. But remember, I made some videos about FEMA, right? Remember death prayer to FEMA? I went to Sarasota's FEMA. Brought my paperwork. I said, "I'm just gonna pray here for your death." That's when I started it. And then I went to Venice and I prayed for their death. And I was like, "Here's my paperwork. Do or die. That's it. I'm praying for your death." All of them, just right in front of them. Right? Especially Venice was a very intimate location and everything. I just did it in front of all the people there. There was only like say 30 people, and I did it in front of everyone, just right there in the room, and then outside of it. Talk about tense, seriously. And I just gave him my paperwork. I didn't. He's like, "Oh, you could. What is it called? You could. You could. What do they call it here in the letter? Sorry, I'm gonna read this for a time. Uh, we reviewed your application. Your application. Your check is coming. Your appeal. That's right. Your appeal has been approved. That's what it says right here. Your appeal has been approved. Whoop. There it is. For 9,600 right here. I went down with the paperwork. I'm like, approved. Your appeal has been approved. See right there. And then they gave me the check for the approval. I got that in the mail. And that's what I had the paperwork. I had it. I had all my neighbors here. One guy came up to me who lives across the street. It's like everyone here's got like 10,000 more dollars, and they didn't have a single document. They didn't have no receipts or nothing. I had a receipt for a $12,000 roof they would put on this thing in between storms, and they uploaded it. The inspector came back and uploaded it. Everything. I brought it back down. They denied me totally until totally denied me. And I went down there with a death prayer and I got $2,000, something like that, a little later. And then I went to Venice. I'm like, we'll hit him again. And I didn't appeal. They did. They filled out the paperwork and appealed it. I got this check yesterday. Uh, so do or die. That's what I said. Do what you're supposed to do, perform your job, or die. I pray for your death. You're enslaving me. You're not treating me fairly, so I'm going to pray for your death. Yours or yours or yours. This one younger guy he was working security there. He was wearing a Coast Guard uniform. He's like, I'm not with her. Like, you're wearing a uniform. You're standing here watching the door. I'm praying for your death too. I said, "Yeah, yeah, it's you too." Oh yeah. And the manager come out and he took my paperwork, made copies, apparently made an appeal, and did it. I was like, "Because that's it. I've had it." I was shocked to get this yesterday. I totally shocked. I can't even, you know, I, I didn't do what they said to do. I did what I said to do. Good at that's it. You're gonna treat me differently. You're gonna slave me, give all my neighbors 10 grand plus. They don't have even a piece of paper. They told me none of them did. None of them. They just come by and looked at the places and the money came in days from the treasury for them. They didn't even apply. Most of these people didn't apply. The inspector came by and gave it to them. Uh, you know, That's when I got super serious. I was like, "Oh, really? Oh, they go to venison. I hear they got." I had it. I had it. You know. So, which is good news because I need a new refrigerator and dishwasher. They both died. Uh, this hurricane business isn't exactly easy on a structure of the appliances and stuff like that. Not at all. Well, they just died recently, so I'm gonna go sort that out. I got to check for that. I'm really happy in that regard. So, uh, sorry, Dee Dee. Wow. So people give up, they don't get the money, right? Yeah. I got someone dropping some stuff here. Hold on a second. Sorry. You could just leave it. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
No problem. You don't forget you got something for
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Good day now. Sorry. Walmart, fantastic. Dropping off some food and stuff. Great. They were lovely. Uh, so yeah, Jay is very sweet. Sorry for the interruption. Uh, I did not appeal, Didi. I did not appeal. I did not fill out any paperwork. I did not. No, I did not appeal. I did not do any paperwork. I did the death prayer. That's it. That's all I did. Food, yes, Jay. Well, yeah, I did not. I did not fill out documents. I did not do that. I'm like, they didn't have to do it. Why do I have to do it? Appeal? What? I did all the paperwork. I uploaded the thing. I did everything. They don't have to do any of that. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. But that's how. Oh, okay. You're not going to treat me fairly. I'm calling my God. You see, that's it. Do or die. What? They don't fear anything but their death. If they die, they know where they're going. It's like in the Bible that the demon who's like, "Hey, Jesus, easy. It's not the day yet. Don't kill me. Hey, don't send me to hell yet. Yeah. Oh yeah. Don't. Well, then why don't you do what I say? Why don't you do what you're supposed to do? Or else, yeah, I'm gonna pray that God sends you to hell right now for sure. Do what you're supposed to do, or die. Do or die. That's it. I call on my Father, call on God, and that's it. And they respond. So it's not uh my situation gets horribly worse and God sends me, they deserve to die. Yeah, they do. They deserve it what they're doing. So let me go notify them. Okay, no problem. I'm the guy for that. What? Yeah. So it works. If you're in a very difficult situation, Dee Dee has some movement on her situation when she did what I said to do this. She got movement on her situation. So did I. Got a check in the mail. So I'm just saying, this time loop is a progression, a spiritual advancement. And so different things are in play at different times as we move forward. On Mayor Mama's birthday, if I say give it to God and give them the death prayer, if they don't, do or die, they can do it, or else you don't get the movement. That's it. I said it, so do it. And I got the proof that it works. Always have the proof. I always have the proof. I have to do just like you have to do. Is that like I'm doing something that you can't do that's not gonna get results? I sign a trust, you can sign a trust. I get a bank account, you get a bank account, right? I say a death prayer, they do. You do the death prayer, they do. That's the way it works in here. That's the way the spiritual hierarchy works. Oh, let me show you how that's the avatar. Hey, get out there and dance. Uh guys like the organ grinder, right? Hey, monkey, get out there and dance, monkey. Okay. And so I'm the first monkey to dance. Yes, instantly doing a testimony. Right. Thank you, Didi. Good. Uh, I got crazy results on the breath prayer. I heard, and I'm very happy for you. Me too. Uh, y'all need to get with Jack or anyone going through something impossible is, and I know people are having that. I am and was. You have to use it in all the situations, and don't you know vocalize it. I'm with God, I'm with Jesus Christ. You're not treating me fairly. So I have to call on my God. Like Moses, set us free. Set my people free, set me free. But you have to set yourself free up in here when Jesus came. You see, you decide with your actions. Okay, I'm having this issue. I give it to God. I'm giving you a notification. And then you get to put it off your worry list and move on with your life. You give it to God for real. Put it right on your altar, the paperwork, everything you're having a difficulty with, and movement happens. For sure. I've got the proof. I just showed you a whole thing. I have no proof when I say, hey, I'm going down to FEMA and I'm putting up videos on this channel. This is how you do a death prayer right in front of the Masons. I'm having experiences with them too when I go down there. Oh, yeah. A guy who was going to court said the rosary and a judge died, right? For real. They had to bring in a substitute who had no clue what's going on. Yes. But let's just be right up front about it. You know what's up, you know all the information, you have knowledge sat, right? So pray for their you like I ain't got no time for this. I'm working for God. You're blocking me. So do the right thing. Do what you're doing. You just have do what you're doing for everyone else or die. I have no patience for the rest of it. And this time loop is short. So say the prayer or don't to their face because I said so. Because that's where we are. We're in the last 8 years. That's the section of it. It's a war. We have enemies in a war. They're coming for your family, your children, your grandchildren. They're coming for them. You want them to take your children, your grandchildren, whatever? No. So do 6 feet over there, or I'll give you the death prayer. And they read your mind. So they're not going to be coming for your death prayer if they have any sense at all. And if they do, yeah, hey, watch them light on fire when they get the prayer. Woo, baby. They have a reaction. Did the guy get forward the next judge? Yeah, somehow the next judge was clueless and he got a real easy shake. Nice. Yeah, you bring the proof, Didi. Okay, so this is really important because we're at this level, right? They don't listen. They don't listen. They don't listen. You've been to court. You apply for, property tax exemption, all these different things, and they don't listen. Okay, patience. We're patient. We're very patient. Year after, it's been 15 years for me doing this straight up, 15 years in a row, straight, and them just being evil. And that's not even 15 years. Oh my God. Been since '06. Well, how long is that? That's when this, they started stealing my house and broke up my family. So however long that is, 19. Uh, so he threatened to kill a dude who, how do I say this, exposed himself to his son or something about. Oh yeah. And so you do threaten with a prayer. You don't make a death threat. You make a death prayer. And so at FEMA, they were like, "Hey, you can't be saying that." I was like, "I can pray to my God. This is a Christian nation. I'm calling on Jesus Christ. It's legal to pray. Try and stop me. Is it now illegal to be Christian? I said, I'm not murdering you. I don't have any weapons. Legally, morally, and ethically, I should be murdering you. You're treating me differently than everyone else. You're enslaving me. The bank never signs the document. I told him all this. So I'm not murdering you. You deserve it. You deserve your death and me murdering you. Ethically, morally, legally, you deserve me coming down to murder you. Okay, I'm not doing that. I'm praying for your death. I'm praying my God steps in because I'm Christian. I explained everything I just said right now. I said to them in the same tone, everything. Yeah, they don't want to hear it. Yeah, oh, you don't want to hear it. That's why I'm telling you, because you don't want to hear it. Great news on my end. Glad to hear that you don't want to hear that. Now I'm going to really pray for it all the time. Fantastic. Great to know you don't want me praying that. Means you it works. And I get the proof. Yeah, she did do good with her death prayer. She did. Like a magnet. Yeah. Yeah. So a little bit of background about me. I thought I'd give some information about me. Uh One thing is, DC's going down, right? Washington DC, the central hub of hell, obviously is going to experience cataclysms of this stuff. And I have that in my lineage. I posted a link to a few people about this, but if you look up Martin F. McCarthy Metro Fuels fire, the largest fire in Washington D.C. history, started by my grandfather's business. Oh yeah, it's true. Not by him particularly, but he had a fuel business, and they would deliver fuel to homes. And somebody was smoking a cigarette, and it somehow lit on fire, which I don't understand because it's like diesel fuel, so it's not supposed to happen, but it did. I was right next to the train yard there where the trains were bringing the fuel. And back then, all the giant tanks, the huge giant tanks full of fuel oil, a bunch of them. And, his truck blew and it went down the line and blew all all of them. And so it uh, you know, go look it up. There's one news article about it that pops up, and you can read about it. But anyway, I've heard my family tell me about it and what happened. Like even my father, who said he saved my grandfather that day. Found him and pulled him out of his office and got him out of there. He went over there and got him. As the place was burning. Uh, and he said the place burned for quite a long time because none of the fire trucks or anything could do. They didn't have the equipment. They couldn't touch that fire, not a lick. Burned out of control because, gigantic fire. Uh, biggest in DC history. So, and until the foam trucks came from the Air Force Base, Andrews Air Force Base, which is like a long way away, really long way away from this, on the Beltway and all that, driving in modern cars is still at least a half an hour drive. So that thing burned for a long time. Burned, burned, burned. So that's in my lineage, just burned in DC. Just want to let you know. Yeah, it's verisimilitude, but it's in the family lineage. So, oh yeah. Uh, Another thing that came up is about these Sufis, right? My father was Sufi. Came to it later in life. My first guru, Matthew, was a Sufi. He's Greek. And I ended up meeting at the Lama Foundation in Taos, New Mexico, who was passing through. One of the most famous, like, Western Sufis is Inayat Khan. He comes from the Muslim Sufi direction. And I met his son, Hidayat Khan, who was in his 70s when I met him in the 90s. And I watched that entire mountain, Charles Mountain, burned one day. The whole place, more than 10,000 acres, and the Lama Foundation was up there. Is the only thing that didn't burn is Lama Foundation Sufi place up there. So this, I'm just saying, this whole place is coming. This end is coming, and I'm just the guy for the job. I am. I am. I'm gonna be happy when it happens. Uh, but me bringing through this death prayer has an effect on me. Like a JB witness, and I showed you in India too, just to George, I think, I have to spit blood. I have to internally take in all the sins and so on, and it causes me great physical trauma. And I was spitting blood in front of her to show her what happens when I baptize someone and so on. And with this death prayer, like couple days ago, uh, I was pissing like almost straight blood, and that's never happened to me before. And I was like, I'm not, I'll pray to God, and it now has pretty much subsided. But I want to reference something based on that. My father died, been like 12 years or something ago, and he was in perfect health, very good health. He always had very good health, and he pissed blood one day. Went to the doctor, and they were going to take tests. And so he calls me on the phone. We were living in different places, and I hadn't heard from him in a couple of years. And I was just tired of the family dynamics. I was trying to get my life together, and I heard from him, and he calls me and says, "I know you have a guru. Can you ask him what's up with this?" And he told me his situation. He was pissing blood, and so I asked Sridhar, I was like, and he said, "I'll ask my guru what's going on." A couple days later, Sridhar calls me and says, "Oh, hey, your father's going to be dead in less than 6 months." He's the first person, my father, to ever ask me anything spiritual through me directly. Can you get this answer? He's the first one. And I went through the spiritual hierarchy and asked. And so I had to call my dad and say, "You'll be dead in 6 months." And he went to the doctor, and found out he had cancer. And he was dead in 6 months. So, this whole piss of blood thing ain't like somebody else doing it. It's like in my lineage too. We all have weak physical points. We're thrown in this body of non-perfection, and we all have problems our own, But I prayed to God, and I'm like, I'm not going down the fear route with this whole thing. It's just part of this bringing this birth of the death prayer into the crystal sphere. I brought it in here. All of my work causes me huge physical trauma. Come bringing the trust through a meeting with the devil. What? I- these things cause gigantic trauma. To This is infinity coming into the finite. They're not supposed to go together. Somehow God creates me so they can go together, but it causes me huge physical trauma to do it. Uh, but it's passing, you know. But that weak point, that weakness is elevated to that point, so that'll be something that will be happening in the future to me at different times too. But I won't die, and I will be healed, and it's just part of the nature of my work so that you understand it. Like Bear Baba was always talking about his situation and what he had to go through. But I'm just giving you real information of what bringing this death prayer causes these outcomes for you not to use it and for me to go through this so that you can use it. What? I make it so you don't have to go through that trauma. I go through it. I give you the information so you don't have to go through that trauma. I do the trauma for anyone that's going to do it. I am given that so you don't have to. That's the way the spiritual hierarchy really works. And Jamie's helping Canada up there, so I know she understands some of what I'm talking about. And that's why I'm talking about some of this, so that you can experience. You're advancing spiritually, and so you're going to have some of these things happen. You say your prayers, and you come through the health difficulties. You will. Uh, did I say this already? No. Okay. We're gathering May 3rd through the 11th. Yes, in Sarasota. You have to be baptized. Yes, and so message me about that. I did say that. Okay. Uh, that's what's going on. We're getting to the other side of this whole difficulty. It's just Tammy and I. It feels really wonderful to kind of gotten past February. It was so horrible. So difficult. So many. Everyone, and there aren't many close to me, was just absolutely trying to give me the most horrible life ever. Because I broke through this death prayer. So I'm really happy for the people that use it and will use it, and you will have successful outcomes because of it. Uh, and we'll move on to the next thing from there, and so on too. So May 3rd is your birthday, Alex. That's great. May 4th is supposed to be my birthday. So we'll both be celebrating. Uh, you can celebrate your birthday and I'll celebrate not being born. I don't need to celebrate. May the 4th be with you. I don't, it's fake. I'm not bored. I don't die. That's why I had no fear when I'm pissing blood or anything. Like, oh my god, crap, what does this relate to? And then I heard it. That's all. I don't have no fear of dying. Nothing like that. I'm like, oh, this is gonna suck for a minute. Could you make it not suck? God, that would be great. I get. Oh, this is from the death prayer. Great. I got all that information. So let's not go there. And so great. We don't have to go there. Excellent. Feeling better today. You know. Uh May 2nd is your fake birthday. Look at this, huh? Look at all this lining up. Ain't this interesting? Ha, 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 ha. So, you know, coincidence isn't a thing. So that we can see it all happening for real. So that's what's going on. Uh, if you're having difficulty with the financial situation, message me that as well. We'll sort through that. As I said, uh, got some help. Someone's willing to help out with that for those people that want to come back, get baptized, and meet your homies, the ones who are leaving, the ones who are actually, you know, the ones here. Meet them. You're all great people. And you deserve to meet each other. Me, yeah, like you see me all the time, whatever, but you don't get to meet all these other people who are wonderful people, like who share a similar situation with yours. uh, break bread with them, have a good time with them, and share your situation and who you are and all that. It'll be great. The baptism is a short thing. It doesn't take that long. And hanging out with each other is what we're gonna do. Thanks everyone who helps bring Jack here. Yes, no, really, truly, I do. I really thank you. I really do because it's even me saying the words really can't explain what's I have to go through it all. If I had a camera on me, like all the things every day, all day long, wherever I go, it's just I don't even. It's just amazing. It never, ever, ever, ever slows down. None of that, you know. George, thanks for all the work you do. Yeah, Dee Dee, it is appreciated. She shares her. It's not easy, and I have to be very careful with everyone who's very passionate about being with God, but I have to let their passion not direct them in a direction which won't bear fruit. And that can be very. Mayor Obama said, "Perfect master is as hard as what is it hard uh, as hard as iron and as soft as butter." Very strict. When I see you straying as a shepherd, I'm like, get back here. I don't want to have problems for you. I don't, and I try to explain why. And you could be like, yeah, but nothing. Uh, so I can be very because Dee Dee's very passionate about God and has had direct experiences that she and I have shared with God a long time ago. And so I'm very caring over there, but very, some would say mean or something. I'm not at all. I'm very, very much don't get outside of what's going to work as best as I can. Uh, so it's always for her or your benefit that I'm strict, but you know, I'm just careful with you. You matter to me. That's all. It's carrying rough because it has to be. Yeah, it's difficult. This is hard. It's so difficult. So I have to be strict because, but I'm loose as a goose all the other times, but don't do things that are going to cause you to go spiritually backward or I'm going to say something. That's all. Uh, right behind us, the odds are will always be 100%, right? Yeah, it's love of God. Yeah, it's service to you too. So that's this week. If there's anything I could discuss for you or what's on your mind, I'd like to get it into that. Uh, if needed, I'm sort of getting to the other side of this thing that has been just absolutely dreadful for me, health wise and so on. I mean, that was just yesterday. Yeah, yesterday was piss and blood. So it was not like it's been a long time or nothing like that. Right before I pulled that out of the mail from the death prayer, I was like pissing almost straight blood. So, and now I'm not. It's amazing what God decides to have happen. It's just I can't even. I could just tell you, but you know. Anyway, uh, so when a situation comes up, whatever it is, you pray to God and God helps you. That's where we are. We have signed the trust and we're with Jesus Christ, and that's it. There's nothing that is solved in another way. We can do our best, try and solve things, but in the end, you notice, okay, this isn't being solved in a timely fashion. Uh, you call it God. You call it God as you do everything, but sometimes you just stop what you're doing because it's not having any traction, and you simply give it to God, and that turns into almost everything as you go, basically. That's the situation of having Christ consciousness. Hey God, help, help us, God. That's where we get to. Just how can anything move forward in any way, in a good way for us, without God doing it? What the devil's going to do it? I don't think so. So You see, that's what we do. There's no doing outside of that. That's why it was so lovely to meet with Benjamin, and that's what he did, and when his, difficulty came up, he just silently prayed to God, and his situation was instantly, treated and turned into happiness, and that's why I say this guy is so incredibly spiritually advanced that he went directly to it and he directly got the outcome. And so he has no other problems like that, you know? Seriously. If you're thinking there's another way, you're mistaken, okay? You can do your best. Some things we have to do and perform actions and stuff, but ultimately, you want the impossible to happen, you know? What? I'm holding a piece of paper from a prayer. What? Come on. You see? So, okay. Let's see if we have anything else before we conclude our time together this week. Uh, so sorry, Jack, but great you got the extra cash. Yeah, exactly. And great everyone else is going to get their situation solved. That's why I done it. So you can use it. When a perfect master completes his works, it's a gift to receive the volatile of him. Look it up. Yeah. Yeah. When I complete the work that is available to others. I did the trust, it's available. I did the death prayer, it's available, etc. As we go forward. Whatever God tells me to do, I'm going to do it. I'm definitely going to do it. I'm going to do it right away. My life's not in the balance, but my soul is. And so, and I'm going to have to go in front of him. And, you know, how can I not make a mistake? You know, come on. I have to try my best, and that's all that's acceptable. You did your best, okay. It's still not gonna feel like enough when I get back in front of them, you know? So I'm always absolutely only focused on doing my best spiritually. I've already been in front of them, and it just feels like it's the best feeling, yes. And you are forgiven, yes, 100%. But at the same time, you're like, you know, I just feel like I should have done better, you know? But then when you're at the meeting, it's like, well, you could have done better because I made you. I made all the situations. So you know you could have done better. But still, you arrive at that destination wanting to have done better. So that's why I'm always trying my best to do better. You see, my service is to you. And so that's why I'm not telling things that, you don't want to hear. And I try and tell things that are going to come up for you. So that's why I say that. Dee who did you say the death prayer to? Ah, good question. What building commission at City Hall and at Travis Central Appraisal District. Nice. Yes, Dee thank God, dear Jamie and Benjamin. Yes, they are so sweet. They are dear. They're very dear to me, and they're just very dear people. As I say, you're gonna love meeting them and each other. You're very, very dear individuals to God, and you're just very you don't get at the end of the spiritual trail without having, being absolutely good-natured, sweethearted people. And don't we have to interact with such the opposite all the time? It's so great to not have that problem in the room and have the opposite. It's such a lovely experience. That's why a gathering is just going to be so wonderful just to have that break. Thanks, CD. Wish me luck. Wish you good fortune. Luck, Liz, for now. I'm gonna visit Carl Les this week. I don't. Okay. Uh, George, are we not meant to break trail up in here? We always be first, right? You'll be first having your experiences, yes, but honestly, what trail? Honestly, what you know? God did create us differently. I'm just being real. I'm just being real. I'm being real because it's not your job to break trail and win the game first. That's not your job, actually, is it? No. Look at the Bible. Jesus and the disciples are like, "Oh, what should we do? Oh, crap," you know? What? But then Jesus leaves and they have so we're not physically standing next to each other all the time and stuff. Alan and I did it for a long time. And then, you know, uh even when we were together, we weren't together at different times. Uh and same with the other visitors. So you take the information and then you got to break your own trail, you know? So there's differences. I'm meant to break the overall trail, and I've been out there. I've had the experience with God. Nothing. What? I'm gonna have fear of doing something in here. If God tells me to jump off a bridge, maybe I'll jump. I've jumped up on waterfalls and bridges. I'll jump. God is not gonna let me die. I've done. I won't even say some of the scary stuff that I've done over time. It's just ridiculous what I felt like was a good idea to do. But no, death is not having me. So it is a possibility, maybe not for you, but it's a possibility to make some errors that way. Uh, so we're not exactly the same like that. You see what I'm saying? Uh, so there are slight differences, but I play the exact same game with a memory wipe, and I'm not saying you can't break trail, but you're going to end up as a perfect master doing that kind of business. I'm just saying. You won't be leaving for a long time either. You'll be leaving at the end as something. You'll get a post. You'll come back in like Sridhar. Of course he's made it to the end, but now he's back. You see what I'm saying? It can be 100% trusted to have reading of minds, know in a loop, won't say a word to anyone. You have to be trusted on a level, and you gotta if you go out there and break that trail on your own somehow, well, then that's you done yourself in back in the dome because you're gonna get in front of God and God's gonna say, "Hey, you want to be perfect? You're perfect." God's gonna say, "You're perfect master." You're like, "Of course, if you say I am, then I am." You see, and that doesn't mean you're gonna be in that role immediately. You'll become one of the 56 perfect ones on the sidelines for countless lifetimes, and then you'll ultimately maybe someone will get to leave. I hope Sridhar doesn't have to be in this dome every single time. It'd be nice if he got to take a break, although he's the best friend I'll ever have ever. I miss him. But for him, knowing, being in the dome or being with God, I mean, how could I not wish for him to be with God? I would miss him, but, you know, I want God for him more than me for him. you know, there's no, no, there's no choice there. So, So that's what could happen if someone actually makes the attempt and works on break a trail for real. That's what's gonna maybe happen to you. So watch out for that one. Like Bear Mama said, hey, God realization is the only reason we're in here, but you don't want it. Don't even think about trying it. That's the way I see it too, man. All right. Good question, George. Carl S. Yeah. Come along, you know, fallen angel, he's still meeting with fallen angels. Listen, if you do that, it's like Mayor Baba said, "Oh, hey, I heard you went to a guru." It's like, yeah, you're not with me anymore. That's your guru forever. Uh, so you'll watch that. Uh, you think someone else has something to say to you other than me, then they become your guru and you lose me. I'm just trying to tell you. You could meet with them just to study fallen angels or whatever, but thinking you're getting into any information, you can't do that. Can't take anyone as your guru except for me. That's impossible. To go have an experience and something like that, understanding who they are. But yeah, get a new guru. You're off the spiritual hierarchy. You're not making it on the path. This lifetime's not your lifetime, and how many more countless lifetimes? That's it. So, but that's two different things. You understand? I explained what the differences are. That's up to you. Like I went to the you know temple in Mumbai for Christ consciousness. I didn't go there for Christ consciousness. I went there to visit the temple and see what's up and stuff, not to receive anything from them. I was here to tell them something, not the other way around. So, see the difference? But if you go seeking, spiritual knowledge and advancement elsewhere, you automatically get off my list. And that you'll experience it physically, not by me doing something, but you will experience that. So watch out for that one. I hope I'm extremely clear on that because it's the truth. You know who that is. Okay, just what everybody offers, right? I gave him everything on the phone last week, gave me no pushback, right? Because he wants you, their job is to keep you in the dome reincarnating. So, yeah, come on by. I'll tell you everything. Let me be your new guru. Of course, then you're fucked. 2017, uh, I stayed at his house in Virginia. Yeah. On the way to the truth, they go to latch onto and stuff like that. So, totally. You wouldn't be the mischievous chicken. I'm the mischievous chicken. Sorry. You could be another one. You could be a mischievous chicken, or that's all of us. The mischievous chicken is myself. Uh, yeah. Good, George. I'm glad I was able to help with that. You see what I'm saying? Because it's these really serious, difficult spiritual questions we're wrestling with. I want to do my best to shed light on them. I'm glad that helped. Wonderful. I'm going to try and flip. Good. You'll experience you won't. And, good. I went through that, right? Hey, help me help you, and you'll experience you can't do that. So you're trying to give back to someone that helped you on your path move forward. That's great. And now you're going to return to him and say, "Hey, guess what?" But no, he won't. He won't do it. And you'll see. You'll see that, and you need to have that kind of experience for that reason. That's compassionate from the heart reason, and try to help others. But you will not experience it moving forward. No way, no how. But go and have that experience. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, but it's just because you brought it up. I want to explain the situation so that other people understand it. So I'm glad you brought it up, Jack. I wasn't necessarily concerned about you, but I want to be strict in applying the information so that you're aware of it. Okay, and everyone is. Their Bible was very clear in his writings about the same situation. So it's what happens when you get a heart. You're like, hey, everybody that I had known, you want to pull them along, and you'll find out what the heck. Why aren't you moving? You know, and that's difficult on the heart, difficult on the heart, so difficult on the heart. That's the most difficult thing in here. You get to receive some help from other people and you want to help them. And you have a heart, your heart's activated, it breaks, your heart breaks on the way to God. That's what happens because you're like, no, all you have to do is just it's the hardest by far part of this work of coming to God. By far, by far, by far. Your loved ones, your family, your children, if you can get them, it's absolutely God stepped in and made it happen. As part of the script and everything. It's something that almost never ever happens. That's why the Poe family, Dee Dee's family, what's happening is this George's family, uh, you know, those things are the rarest, absolutely miraculous, impossible things to happen. Uh, it's really amazing when I see that happen. So, and I take it for absolute the highest miracles possible. So, I felt that Jack yelled at me for thinking I could help see. Kind of, because I try to help him and wasting my time, and I don't want you wasting yours. It's not possible. It is impossible. So focus on your loved ones and your home and yourself. That is possible if God steps in with miracles. And those are the ones that are God gave to you, right? For you to steward, to watch over and advance. So those are the ones you're supposed to focus on and move forward, not these other ones that won't move forward. You see? So, yeah. And that's why you're having good forward motion with your loved ones, many of you. Congratulations. You're focusing on the right individuals, putting your time in the right place, putting your energy, your resources, you're doing the right things, and you're having success. I'm praying for it all the time. And when I witness it, I pray for you, and congratulations. You're doing really well with that. You need, uh, like I say, you have never experienced Jack turn his back on you. No, but I have to give that experience. I don't render no one in here apostate, but I do. You want to feel disconnected from me. You want to feel what happens in this dome when you don't have a shepherd. Go feel it. You'll be right back. That's why. Because Didi was early and is feeling the spiritual effects maybe first. So she experienced huge trauma and difficulty, and the whole hive coming after her. So that's why I had to be crazy strict with her because they're going to eat her alive. Jay, but I need a vacation. Yeah. Even if it's a day away from Devil Town. Oh, you go to the Devil Town next over. You'll see. But no, sometimes just taking a break is fine, but you'll experience the same over there. You'll see. Use me as your learning curve. It's like your dad but alive. Yeah. Yeah, but you're back to life, Didi. Jay, yes, very important for the others to know also, yeah. Someone removed my heart. Alex is taking it, said that's good, man. Didi, Z was like a little sweet lost lamb, and that was a wolf in disguise. Ain't that a fact? Boy, the devil ain't no joke as an adversary. I'm just saying. Oh, it needs to remember every lifetime, know everything, and to be a proper enemy and adversary, so that only like 12 people come through at a time. That is a serious adversary to keep the entire world spellbound and away from God. Talk about some skills, abilities, powers is no joke. To never underestimate the devil. Never, never, never. I mean, God wins over the devil for sure, but don't underestimate your opponent. Not ever. You are known in every single aspect, your weaknesses, your strengths, and they'll all be used against you. For sure. I know. Dee Dee knows. Uh, Jay, yes, every day for everyone I know is a dead end. Yeah, like talking to a tree is true. Z was a wolf, that's for sure. It's until you interact with it, it's an experience. You must meet with the wolf before you meet with God. It is absolutely is part of the path that must happen. Must. It must happen. Or else we're all playing a different game. That's not fair. Devil's got us till it don't. That's a fact. Gee, there are many Z's. That's true too. You just need a break, and it's in the country. No, I understand that. Let's play the game out of the country instead of the city. Hey, I get that. I get that. But don't think it's going to be anything but the same old devil game out there in the country. But the trees are lovely out there. DC sucks, or Virginia, wherever you it gets annoying after a while. So yeah, go get your break, but bring your knowledge with you, and your prayers for God. You're going to It's going to happen if he finds out Jack will have that May thing, and especially if I'm there in Florida. Yeah, the devil wants to show up. But That's why I say message me, and you know, Alex, you're definitely the one who I have most concern about. I'm just gonna say it straight up. So you got some things to be careful about, my friend. You do, and you know you do. So we're gonna say a prayer for each other now. Uh, it's going to yeah, you're gonna make it. Yeah. So, but everyone's destined to get there, and I don't mean to, you know, say you're lesser than anyone, Alex. You're not. You matter just as much to me as anyone. But I'm just saying, who's in the most precarious position? That's you, 100%. So it would be good for you to meet these other people that have that vibe come over you, where you can't be beaten anymore. I want that for you. I know things have been difficult for you, so and I don't want them to be, and things will change, but it's not going to be easy. So let's pray it won't be just see. Well, Z's easy. You already know how to beat that one. So you want to put you on a more difficult one. Okay, watch you, woman. Watch your prayers. Okay, Alex, good. All right. So I think we're good, right? I look forward to that gathering, and I really want to thank you, the people that have been supportive this past month. It was really a month to where I can't even. I don't want to go there. It's just to have that in my direction. There are times when it's just so hard, and to have it is so meaningful. I put all the things that you said is on my altar right now. I'm touching them right now. Uh, is so meaningful to me. I can't even tell you. It really means way more trauma for me or way less. So I experience it that way. And I just can't even tell you how much I appreciate it. There's no way for me to explain it fully, but I do want to say how much it means to me. Uh, so let's close out now. Great week for you coming up. Good fortune to your week, everyone in here, and God, please remove our enemies from our path and kill them. Send them straight to hell if they try and step in front of us or our loved ones on this path home to God. Just remove them and send them to hell. Take them out of their body, kill them, and remove them. Time is short up in here, and we have to get home to you, God. So my prayer is for you that God removes any enemy, any adversary before you even see them, and make our pathway straight home to God. That's all I want for each one of you. God bless you. Coming home to God, G Baba. Thank you, Jesus Christ. Thank you, God the Father. Thank you, Holy Spirit, Gabriel the angel. Watch over this flock. They matter to me. If I say it, I mean it. And so watch over them. Until we meet again next week. Uh, Thank you. God, watch over you always. Have a lovely week, everyone.